Oftentimes, celebrities have to deal with interviewers that are intrusive, sexist, and rude, like when this interviewer wouldn't let the topic of Tom Hardy's sexuality go, despite the fact that he was only there to promote his movie.
Do you find it hard for celebrities to talk to media about their sexuality?
What on earth are you on about?
Sometimes interviewers just can't take a clue, because although Tom was visibly uncomfortable, the reporter continued with the line of questioning, and that's when Tom had shut him down.
I don't find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality. Are you asking me about my sexuality?
Sure.
Why?
Why?
Thank you.
If you thought this interviewer's question was rude and invasive, here's another occasion when an interviewer asked actress Anne Hathaway weird questions about her body.
When you found out you were going to play Catwoman, is there a certain regimen you put yourself through in terms of the diet, the workout? What is the feline fitness regime?
A lot. It's all the boring stuff that no one ever wants to do. It's just watch what you eat and get yourself to the gym.
Although Anne was quite irritated by the question, she answered patiently, but when the interviewer just wouldn't let it go, things got a bit tense, and she immediately put him in his place.
Any particular
Are you
workout?
trying to lose weight?
Well,
Like, what's the deal, man? You look great.
no.
No, seriously. We have to
thank
talk
you.
about this. What do you want? Are you trying to fit into a cat suit?
Scarlett Johansson also faced similar weird questioning from the same interviewer during the promotions for the Avengers movie.
Now, were you able to wear undergarments?
You're like the fifth person that's asked
Well, no,
that to me.
because
What is going on? Since when did people start asking each other in interviews about their underwear?
Once again, the interviewer didn't stop, and even though she was uncomfortable, he kept asking her about her underwear, but Scarlett had heard enough, and she immediately set boundaries with the interviewer.
Well,
is it inappropriate?
to ask somebody what kind of underpants they wear?
I didn't ask you what kind.
You just asked me if I was wearing any.
Another actress that had to set clear boundaries was Sandra Bullock. The interviewer began the interview with a comment that made Sandra very uncomfortable.
Major thing that's changed since you were here last?
Yes.
I have now seen you naked.
And I'm so sorry about that.
I have seen you naked.
Were you able to sleep afterward?
And I am so sorry about that. Although Sandra was obviously disgusted by the comment, she continued to laugh it off. But as the interview progressed, the interviewer just wouldn't let it go, further tensing the interaction.
Was it all right? I mean, was it hard to do? No, it just happens, right?
I'm an actor. It's not really me. It was a character doing it.
Towards the end of the interview, the interviewer brought it up again, causing Sandra to call him out on his behavior.
I watched it last night. It is a lot of fun. Did I mention you have a nude scene in this movie?
Pretty much from the time you opened your mouth. Yeah.
Sandra Bullock. Come back more often.
No.
Ariana Grande has also had her fair share of rude interviewers. She once had to shut down a couple interviewers that asked her sexist questions.
So, if you could use makeup or your phone one last time, which one would you pick? Makeup or your phone?
Is this what you think girls have trouble choosing between?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this men assuming that that's what girls would have to choose between?
The interviewers continued to ask her the sexist questions, tensing the interaction, and at some point Ariana had heard enough, so she set them straight.
When I'm on tour, that's my lifeline is that. But when I'm at a dinner table, I like to be present and talking.
Good quality.
Eye contact.
Ladies learn. Listen and learn, ladies.
Boys learn.
While Ariana Grande stayed around the entire interview to check them on their rude comments, Justin Bieber had a rather different approach. Instead of correcting them on their attitude, Justin decided to just bounce off the show.
Behind a great artist, there's always a great woman, so... Any woman?
Dice que es su madre.
There's no woman. No, there's no woman.
No woman?
No.
You?
What do you mean?
On your own, your look? Who's getting dressed you?
You choose your own looks?
Yeah.
Oh, who gets... Yeah, I dress myself.
During the interview, the interviewers barely included Justin in the conversations, his interpreter wasn't very good, and the only time they ever really stopped to talk directly to him, their questions were just awkward to say the least. But Justin stayed calm until they made a strange request that blew the whole interview over.
We want to make a crazy video. We want to break the internet. So now we got you here. And we got friends of us. They are the biggest YouTubers in Europe. They got like hundreds of millions of followers.
Se los vamos a presentar.
Vamos a presentárselos.
Hundreds of millions.
Okay. Yeah.
Come with us. Come with us.
And they are YouTubers.
Vamos aquí.
Come with us.
Here.
Here, Justin, here.
Interviewers often ask unrelated questions to celebrities to ambush and make headlines, but in an interview with Quentin Tarantino, he was not going to have any of that BS and made sure to check the interviewer on his rude behavior.
Why do you like making violent movies?
I don't know, it's like asking Judd Apatow, why do you like making comedy?
Although Quentin Tarantino tried to give a playful answer, it was clear he did not like where this was going, but the interviewer paid no attention or just didn't care and continued with the questions, and this is where things started to get very tense.
But why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
I'm gonna tell you why I'm so sure. Do not ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. You can't make me dance to your tune.
I'm
not a monkey.
All clues showed that Quentin was not happy with the questions, and you would think that at this point the interviewer would let it go. But no, he doubled down, and this is when the interview blew over.
See, Jamie Foxx has said, we can't turn our back and say that violence in films
Well,
or
then you should
anything
talk
that
to
we
Jamie
do
Foxx.
doesn't have a
Then
source
you
of
should talk to
influence.
Jamie Foxx about that. And I think he's actually here, so you can.
I'd love to, but I mean, it's interesting that you have a different view, and I'm just trying to explore that.
And I don't want to. Because
mean-
I'm here to sell my movie. This is a commercial for the movie, make no mistake.
Well, you
And
are
I-
interviews.
yeah,
So-
yeah, this
So
is-
you don't want to talk about anything serious?
I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the implications of violence. I haven't wanted, because the reason I don't want to talk about it is I've said everything I have to say about it.
Surprisingly, this wouldn't be the last time this interviewer would be disrespectful to a celebrity and bring up unrelated subjects as bait during an interview, because only 3 years later, while interviewing Robert Downey Jr. on his role as Iron Man, he began questioning Robert on his past, and from here it was a downslide.
What you said to the New York Times once was, it was after your incarceration, and you said, you can't go from a $2,000 a night hotel suite to a penitentiary and understand it and come out a liberal. And I just wondered what you meant.
Well, the funny thing is, and I appreciate your point of view, things that you said 5-7 years ago were things you said in an interview that made sense to you at the time.
It was after your incarceration. For the rest of the interview, the interviewer shifted the focus from promoting the Marvel film to questioning Robert on his past life, and not too long after, Robert Downey was fed up with the disrespect and gave the interviewer a reality check.
The reason I'm asking about the past is that you've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in the dark periods you went through and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still something you. Well, I'm just asking questions. That's all. I mean,
Speaking of bringing up the past and disrespecting a celebrity, an interviewer once tried it with Mike Tyson, and let's just say he was very, very lucky that day.
Some of your critics would say, there's a race for mayor. We know you're a convicted rapist. This could hurt his campaign. How would you respond to that?
Hey, I don't know who said that. You're the only one I heard say that. You know what I mean? And I don't have no comment to that.
As the interview goes on, Mike grows very pissed at the interviewer, and from there, things begin to go south pretty quickly.
You come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Hey,
with that
come
comment.
on.
No, that was a piece of shit. That was a piece of shit.
We're doing live TV.
And I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
The interviewer then tries to change the subject, but Mike was already angry, and he made sure to call out the disrespect.
Is it nerve-wracking for you to do something like this, or is it more nervous for you to box? How does it compare?
I don't know. It's more nerve-wracking for me to hear us talking to a rap piece of shit like you.
Come on, Mike.
Not because you're a piece of shit.
All right,
Really not.
we're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming.
One thing's for sure, Mike was pissed, but he is not the only celebrity who has had to curse out an interviewer on live TV. Mel Gibson also faced similar disrespect, and he let the interviewer know how he felt about him.
Do you feel like you're a different person, maybe a better person than you were 5 years ago, 4 years ago? I mean, everything that we've read about you, you've gone through a lot of ups and downs in the past few years.
Oh yeah, 4 or 5 years, yeah. It's a real roller coaster ride. I think I'm the same person I always was, except for people as they go.
That answer should have been enough for the interviewer, but he just wouldn't let it go. He asked Mel yet another one, and this is where things blew over almost instantly.
I'm just wondering if you think that the public has moved on and will perceive you in the same light.
Well, I certainly hope so. It is a while back, and I've done all the necessary mea culpas. So, let's move on, dude. Come on.
Edge of Darkness opens today. It's good to see you back in the saddle and doing what you do best. Thanks a lot for joining us, Mel. Take care.
Bye-bye.
A satisfying moment when a celebrity gave an interviewer a reality check was when Michael B. Jordan called out an interviewer on the set of Creed. Earlier, she had called him corny, and while he reminded her, she tried to laugh it off and deny it, but Michael didn't let her get away with it.
And, you know, we know each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay?
Corny kid, right?
No, I did not say that. Misquoted for sure.
But it didn't end there. Jonathan Majors, co-star of Michael B. Jordan in Creed, also had to call her out when she asked a very awkward question.
Isn't this the sexiest man show off right here? Who's the sexiest man? Because now let's...
Speaking of awkward questions, Lady Gaga once had to silence an interviewer that tried to demean her artistry.
You're not worried that they'll just check out the sexual references and not care about the music? Is that something that worries you?
No, not at all. I've got 3 #1 records and I've sold almost 4 million albums worldwide.
Seeing how she responded with confidence, the interviewer tried to change the questions, but Gaga made sure to give him a piece of her mind.
So what's the biggest thrill of your career so far?
The gay community.
Why? Can you...
Because I love them so much. Because they don't ask me questions like that. Because they love sexual, strong women who speak their mind. You see, if I was a guy and I was sitting here with a cigarette in my hand, grabbing my crotch and talking about how I make music because I love fast cars and f***ing girls, you'd call me a rock star. But when I do it in my music and in my videos, because I'm a female, because I make pop music, you are judgmental and you say that it is distracting. I'm just a rock star.
If you thought that was disturbing, just check out this one when pop icon Britney Spears was just about 17 years old. She appeared on a TV show where she was asked really awkward questions for a teenager by a male interviewer.
There's one subject we didn't discuss. What was that? Everyone's talking about it.
What?
Well, your breasts.
My breasts.
But this wasn't the end. He once again questioned her on the subject, and although Britney was very uncomfortable, she graciously answered while setting clear boundaries with the interviewer.
Okay, in general, what do you think about breast implants? Just in general.
Well, I think if that's what you want to do and that would make you happy, then I see nothing wrong with it. But I haven't done that.
Oftentimes, interviewers can just be straight up disrespectful and try to mask it as a joke, and this was the case for Cara Delevingne. While she was doing promotional interviews for the movie Paper Towns, she appeared on a morning show, and the interviewers were very condescending. At the start of the interview, they mispronounced her name, and for the rest of the interview, the interviewers made sarcastic comments and unsavory jokes at her expense.
So the movie is based on a best-selling book by John Green. You play Margot, the star character there. Did you get a chance? The book is taught, I know, in a lot of high schools and such. Did you get a chance to read it, or do you even have time to sit and read? These days you're so busy.
No, I never read the book or the script, actually. I kind of winged it.
Yeah.
No, of course, I love the book. I think the book's...
Although Cara was displeased with the question, she answered jokingly, but midway through the interview, the interviewers became even more rude and tried to blame her for killing the mood, but Cara refused to pander to them, and the interview was cut short.
You do seem a bit irritated. Perhaps it's just us.
No, I think it's just you.
I think it probably is us. Yeah. Well, then on that note...
We figured as much.
We'll let you go then. How about that? We'll let you go take a little nap, maybe get a Red Bull. How about that?
While Cara Delevingne's name was mispronounced by the interviewer, Samuel L. Jackson was mistaken for another black actor, and let's just say it didn't go very well.
I tell you what, working for Marvel, the Super Bowl commercial, did you get a lot of reaction to that Super Bowl commercial?
What Super Bowl commercial?
It was obvious that the interview was off to a bad start, and things only went downhill from there because Samuel L. Jackson made sure the interviewer knew his mistakes.
See, you're as crazy as the people on Twitter.
Right.
I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
That's my fault. I know that. That was my fault. My mistake. You know what?
We don't all look alike.
Flavia, you're exactly
we may be all black and famous.
You
but
are
we all don't look
guilty.
alike.
I am guilty.
Next question.
I am guilty.
He thought you were Bob Dylan.
Right. That's right.
You're the entertainment reporter?
I know.
You're the entertainment reporter for this station?
Vlog.
And you don't know the difference between me and Lawrence Fishburne?
Another satisfying moment where a celebrity gave a disrespectful interviewer a reality check was when Matthew McConaughey was being unnecessarily antagonistic antagonized by one of the interviewers on The View. Matthew was sharing an amazing moment he had with his friend Novak Djokovic, world tennis champion, when out of nowhere one of the interviewers brought up an irrelevant statement.
It's amazing. So anyway, yeah, I was happy to be in his box. Got to sit behind his parents, which was really awesome to see them when he brings them up and where they started. An anti-vaxxer?
So, yeah.
From that moment, you could see Matthew was visibly annoyed by her, and things only got worse from there because only a couple minutes later, she once again attacked him while he was talking about his political ambitions, but he immediately put her in her place.
I will always measure what category I can be most useful. Let me go through
Do you
this
think you
part of
could
my
get
time.
elected in Texas being anti-gun?
Do I think I could get elected in Texas being anti-gun? One thing about if me in politics is to give you a direct statement right there is be playing a game that I'm not interested in.
While Matthew McConaughey was quite nice in his response, Gordon Ramsay didn't seem to have the same level of patience when he was responding to an interviewer's rude question about his body.
There was a report here a couple of weeks ago saying that you'd been in the States and that you'd come back looking refreshed. Apparently you were looking quite a bit younger. They were saying that you'd had Botox. Has the US affected you like that?
Yeah, now, you're a smart girl, right? I saw you first thing this morning. Honestly, I got my 6 o'clock rise, straight up. Now, do you actually think I've had Botox? Do you think I need my money back? I mean, are you stupid?
Another occasion when Gordon had to cuss out a reporter was when a journalist tried to trap him with a photo of an allegedly bad steak served at one of his restaurants.
It's really weird for you to give me a piece of paper, and when you say, am I satisfied that it's a good steak, you have to be a little bit more honest with me on that one. What are you trying to get at?
As the interview continued, the interviewer couldn't make a straight argument, and it was obvious that he was just trying to bait Gordon, and things got really heated, as Gordon explained to him why a steak well done is totally wrong.
How do they ask them the steak to be cooked?
Well done. It's clear there.
But you asked the steak to be cooked well done.
And is that well done steak?
Oh, come on. What is this? I mean, where can you, I mean, keep on rolling. For legal reasons, this is absolutely crucial. But how sad is this, that you ask for a steak to be cooked well done, okay? Now, whatever quality of beef it is, it's gone past any form of taste when you've cooked it well done. So you present me with a picture, God bless you, and you say, is that right? I don't eat steak well done. That's your prerogative because you're the customer. But unfortunately, you're never going to identify the quality of the beef when the steak is well cooked. So I'm really sorry to piss on your bonfire, but it's a bit of a stupid question. Thank you.
Speaking of stupid questions, Jonah Hill has had to deal with many interviewers asking him questions about his size, but in this particular interview, Jonah gave just the right answer.
And changing of your physique. I mean, you look great. Everybody wants to know what made you make the change.
I just decided one day I wanted to be healthier, and I went and saw a nutritionist, and that's what I did.
Although Jonah was sick and tired of people asking him questions about his weight, he gave quite a respectful answer. But when the interviewer decided to ask the next awful question, things changed very quickly.
So are you the fat guy in Hollywood still, or is everybody like look at you and they're like, oh wow, you know, this is great, now you're healthy?
Do you have any other questions that are smart?
Another occasion where Jonah had to deal with a rude interviewer was during his appearance on the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
Look at you. First of all, you smell good, which is surprising.
Why is that surprising?
I don't know. I just wouldn't think of a guy who would have a nice scent on. And it
That's
seems
such a, like, I'm gonna really work hard to not take that as a shot.
Having your life under a public microscope can be quite tiring and frustrating. With the details of your relationships open for the world to see, interviewers often use this information to pry into the lives of celebrities. Tom Cruise once had to set clear boundaries during an interview with 60 Minutes Australia when the interviewer asked invasive questions about his relationship with his then recently divorced wife, Nicole Kidman.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years?
Listen, we raised children. How do you answer that question?
While things were still a bit calm in the beginning, as the interviewer kept asking repeated questions about Nicole, it was quite obvious that Tom was beginning to lose his patience.
Would you like Nicole to remarry?
Yes. I want Nicole to be happy. That's what I want.
A few seconds later, and after hearing multiple questions about the subject, Tom decided to draw clear boundaries and call out the interviewers. Rude attitude.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's
listen, here's the thing, Peter. Yeah. You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
I suppose they're questions though,
Peter,
that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know. Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay, so I'm just telling you right now. Okay, just put your manners back in.
Matt Damon also had to handle a journalist that insulted and demeaned his profession as an actor.
In acting, there isn't job security, right? There's an incentive to work hard and be a better actor because you want to have a job. So why isn't it like that for teachers?
You think job insecurity is what makes me work hard?
The interviewer continued to be rude, and that's when Matt Damon gave her a satisfying reality check.
You have an incentive to work harder, but if there's
I
job
wanna be an
security...
actor. It's not an incentive. That's the thing. So you take this MBA style thinking, right? It's the problem with ed policy right now. There's this intrinsically paternalistic view of problems that are much more complex than that. It's like saying a teacher is going to get lazy when they have tenure. A teacher wants to teach. I mean, why else would you take a shitty salary and really long hours and do that job unless you really love to do it?